What if I told you some of the millionaires that come back on this channel each and every week are not passionate about real estate? Would that shock you? Would that surprise you? But yet, there is something fundamental, if not foundational, about real estate that it is a part of all of our journey. We're going to have this conversation with the one and only Brian Adamson. So, Brian, I got to ask you, are you just totally geeked out and passionate about real estate?
If I didn't know where I stood, as of this past Friday, I was talking to a potential new student, and she works in corporate America as a recruiter for a company, and then she also has a coaching business. And so she started talking about, I don't know if I had the time and this and that, and I'm like, you've been pursuing this for 10 years. That's noise. Like, tell me what's really on your heart. Like, let's get down to that. She said, honestly, I hear you guys talk about it, and I'm just like, I know I want to do it, but I'm not passionate about it. And my knee-jerk reaction in response to that, Mike, was, neither am I. Like,
I
and
love it. I love
you can
it.
see her eyes because, right, one thing that I think you and I both pride ourselves on is just being honest with people.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
don't care whether on the other side of this there's a transaction and you pay me to be your coach. I want to be completely honest with you. I'm like, neither am I. I'm not in the least bit passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about helping people. And to be quite honest, and I told her this, I said, real estate is the biggest distraction in my life.
Mm.
And she said, really? She was like, you have no idea how this is helping me. Think about how counterintuitive this is. I'm potentially talking to her about being her coach in real estate, and I'm telling her all the negatives about my vantage point on it, but I'm doing it to give her encouragement to let her know you may see people all hopped up on like they just took a real estate injection on social media, but I'm telling you the real. Like when I was in corporate America, then real estate was the way to get me free from that. But now that my skill set has evolved, there's far more easier ways for me to make money that I have a lot more influence on the outcome. In real estate, everybody has to do their job before you collect a check. In no other arena that I'm involved in am I at the mercy of everyone else. I have a lot more influence on my means of being able to collect a check. Real estate is the most vulnerable position that I'm in as a business owner.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really funny that you talk about this because I've never thought about this. I've looked at my buy box every day for 20 plus years. I have, flipped 53 different properties, now probably 54. Uh, Cash flow is more than I need. Been doing it 20 years. But I can promise you, I've never been geeked out on real estate. It's never been a passion. It was a means to the end. It was my chosen path to financial freedom, but it's not exciting to me. Like I know some people that real estate is their passion.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, there's a gentleman in Las Vegas named Joe D.
Okay.
Real estate is his thing.
Yeah.
He just loves it. It's like oozes out of him. Ty, one of the guys I speak with every Thursday.
Oh my
Oh,
God, for sure. I
right.
talked to Ty in Vegas. He loves real estate, no doubt about
He loves it. To me, it was my chosen path to financial freedom. So I was all in, which I think you have to be, right? You've got to choose
it.
your thing. But once you get there, you have other options. And here's the other thing that you said, but I want people to hear. There are a lot of easier ways to make money than real estate, right? Real estate, I mean, I've talked to some guys on this channel who lost six figures when the
Yeah,
market turned on them in 2023, Q1
yeah,
2023. There's a whole lot else. A lot of people don't show them on social media, but
for
there's a
sure,
whole lot of else. I've known people that go bankrupt from real estate,
for sure.
right? So,
I've lost a $500,000, and I've talked about that several times on this channel, right?
yeah,
And I don't despise real estate because of it, but to your point, we do have to highlight that there's not always highlights, right?
it's not
Yeah.
just highlight reel. There are bloopers. There are blooper reels, but that's really I have never thought about this before, right?
I'm telling
I've
you, when
been
she said it, it was like a therapy session for me. I immediately blurted out, like, neither am I. And I was like, whoa, what just happened?
yeah. What did I just say? Whoops. No, but that's it, right? Because but let's go back to the other thing I said in the opening. It's foundation.
Yeah.
The only way I was going to build wealth was owning real estate. Don't get it twisted, right? Everything else is income.
100%.
Wealth is with real estate, right?
100%. Yeah, and that's what I explained to the lady, which again, she has a W-2, she has a coaching business. I told her, I said, this is a fundamental that you're lacking right now, right? It's no secret why 97 or 98% of millionaires have it in their portfolio, because it is a fundamental. We all need it as a wealth building tool, as a great tax shelter. It is a fundamental. But my honest heart to heart opinion is just that I'm like, it's probably the biggest distraction in my life. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. Am I close to the tenants? No, but still meeting one property management company once a week. And some may listen to this, and I'll be like the when Draymond Green said recently that the reason why professional players go broke is because they pay so much money in taxes and
I
people kill
saw
them.
that video.
Right? Like, what are we talking about, man?
Yeah, come on, man.
Right.
Draymond, you're better than that.
So people probably eat me up in the comments too for me talking about my 1 hour call a week with my property management company. But the truth is, as we talk through all those various issues and tenant issues and repairs, and it really is like the biggest nuisance in my life, honestly.
Well, let's take it even one step further, right? I mean, just in my business in the last 30 days, I've gotten 3 insurance cancellations.
Mhm,
Not fun.
mhm.
I've had other policies get repriced otherwhere for a 40% increase. I have a property manager, and we talk once a week. We look at a report daily. I probably spend less than 3 hours a month, but I'm still getting these things. I still get letters in the mail from a tenant parking a car on the grass.
Yeah,
I still get those. Those are annoying,
yeah.
right? You know what? I would go one step further. Let me make sure I get this right. I would say 95% or greater of any stress I feel in a month is from real estate.
1,000%. 1,000% true.
Think about that.
Yeah,
95% or more
yeah,
is real estate related.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What people are witnessing in real time is us really just having a therapy session right now. Right.
Good. There's somebody else like me.
Yeah, because when you and I sign up for something, we're committed at whatever the cost, right?
Mhm.
But it's very seldom that we get to zoom out and really look at what is really happening, right? We get in, we get up, we do the work every single day. But
Every
when you
day.
zoom out and you start to really weigh it, it's like, what brings me the most freedom, but yet the most stress?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real estate. I
Oh,
mean, to your point, I had in the last 60 days 3 apartment buildings where one of the taxes went from like 6,800 to 15,000 bucks.
woo.
Um, Another one and we underwrite them to assume 3% of the purchase price, right? But these millage rates have become crazy, and now I've got a former judge who's working on doing these tax appeals for me. But again, solutions to the problems. But is that something I want to do? Not so much, right? And
So
so
much.
but it's got to happen, man. And
Yeah.
anyway, this ain't the poo-poo on real estate, but it is to highlight the fact that if you think that passion has to be the catalyst to you going out and doing this, I'm just telling you it's not. And I
No,
think
but
Mike echo that same
yeah,
sentiment.
yeah. But let's flip the script. If you treat, like I think real estate investing is a season, right? I went hard at the season for 15 years.
Hmm.
Others have gone hard for less than that. But the idea is once you get your stack, you can still tweak it and add to it, but you don't have to go hard forever,
Yeah, yeah, for
right?
sure, for sure.
And the other thing is there is an upside, right? So we've talked about some of the stress that's gone down. I just did my personal financial statement, which I have to do for my commercial lenders once a year, right? Right around May after taxes, because they
Hmm.
always want my tax return. Our net worth went up multiple 7 figures in a year because of real estate.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
There, there's no better lever to pull to increase your net worth than real estate.
yeah.
It's just a fact. And if you don't think that that's important, you'll find out relatively soon that it is extremely important when you start dealing with banks and
Yeah.
needing certain lending vehicles and things of that nature. And so again, it's a fundamental, Mike. Like,
Yeah.
no, like at some point, even if you have a good cash business, people want to see what's on your balance sheet. And
Yep.
when I say people, the people that have the ability to give you more money. And
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it is a fundamental that we all need to have. And but I just thought I thought it was shocking, and I thought it'd be worth having a conversation publicly about it because
Yeah.
most people, because we're so. I think the biggest thing that people may mistake in watching my channel or yours, we're passionate about helping people,
Right.
not necessarily about investing in real estate. And those are two totally different things, right? I'm passionate about helping people get good at the fundamental of investing in real estate, right? I find a tremendous amount of joy in that. I just don't find a tremendous amount of joy dealing with all the problems that come along with it in comparison to the money I make versus my ability to make money in other areas in comparison to the problems that I deal with. They're just
Mhm.
starkly different, but I would say again, if it wasn't for real estate, I wouldn't have been able to leave my corporate job at 35. Right.
Oh,
So
no doubt.
in a nutshell, lets you know how important it is to me. It's just that as seasons change, you realize like, man, it's just other easier ways of making money. That's all.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm reminded of an Instagram reel, I think it was, that Elena Cardone put out. This is probably a month ago. We may have talked about it, we may not have, I don't remember. But she talked about 5 or 50. What did she mean by that? She goes, you can either sacrifice for 5 years or you can have regret for 50 years. I was like, ooh, I like that. Now, I think it does take more than 5 years, but the sentiment is you can grind, you can sacrifice for a duration and
Mhm.
reap all of those rewards, or you could say, what if, for a long time. I thought that was an interesting insight from Elena Cardone.
Yeah, I think, that's synonymous with Dave Ramsey, right? If you live like no one else will now, you'll live like no one else will later.
Boom. Yeah, it's out there for you folks. Again, it's really funny to think about. Neither Brian or I are geeking out about real estate where it's not our passion. However, it was foundational. It was how Brian got out at 35, how I got out at 45. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Real
Yeah,
estate
sure.
is the way. Um, but Brian, closing thoughts?
Yeah, when I heard that lady say what she said on Friday, it just reminded me of how many more people are probably on the sidelines who's scared to share that because that takes a lot of humility, right? To say
Yeah.
like, I think I should do this, but I'm just not passionate about it. And if we're sitting around, I think we have to be able to delineate between profit projects and passion projects. I think that all of us, based on, as I heard someone explain, guys, divine agitation in us gives us the want to create some form of a passion project that may or may not be profitable. But we can't always start with a passion project. We need to start with profit projects. And those are fundamentals like investing in real estate. And so I just encourage anybody, if you think it's something that you may not be passionate about, I can tell you that it is requisite for you to do it if you haven't done it already, even if it just be going to get one, right? And starting there. So just wanted to give you context that even guys like us that's amassed a ton of success in that area, we aren't all that passionate about it. So don't want that to be stopping anybody that's watching this.
I love it, man. Brian, where can people find you?
Brian Adamson official, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else.
There you go, man. Take care. Have a good day.
All right, you too, man.